Rob G, the Patriots are hoping to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're one win away, and according to Vegas, they got a really good chance to get that win because if we jump back in the hot tub time machine, guys, the New England Patriots have had, we'll call it
I'm going to give that a thumbs down in the hot tub.
We'll call it a
No.
Oh, hold on. I told you can't keep bringing that thumbs up.
Okay.
They've had a charmed season. Maybe that's the word we'll use. Guys, their opponent's winning percentage this season was a whopping .391.
That is unbelievable.
By far the
Wasn't
lowest.
that Aaron Judge's batting average?
Yeah,
The
basically.
lowest in the NFL, of course. And you might say, hey, well, maybe they just caught some teams and, you play who's on your schedule. Here's the quarterbacks that they played this year, some of them. Geno Smith twice.
Oh, my.
Jake Browning. Marcus Mariota.
Oh, my.
Trey Lance.
Oh, my.
Cam Ward.
Oh, my.
Justin Fields.
Oh, my.
Rob's guy, Davis Mills.
Oh, my.
And here's my favorite one. I didn't know he was in the league. Chris Oludekun from the Chiefs.
Who was that?
Exactly.
All right.
So that's how they rolled into the postseason. Like, well, hey, you get to the postseason, the best teams are there. It's going to be different, right? Not so fast.
So many people in New England, they think I hate New England, okay? Because I was the only honest one about Tom Brady and all that.
Well, Rob, you didn't even mention it. Okay, here's they play in the playoffs. They got the Chargers first. The Chargers, who were down both of their starting tackles and had statistically the worst offensive line we've seen.
You
in
ain't got to
years.
say statistics. We seen it.
We seen it. That was number one.
We seen it.
Then they're like, hey, we got that vaunted Houston Texans defense. They also got him no Nico Collins, and C.J. Stroud became a JV quarterback right before our eyes. And now this week, AFC Championship game against the number one seeded Denver Broncos, who have a backup quarterback starting this week, and he's making his first start in a couple of years.
I think Rob G just did it again.
And this is my point. The Patriots, this whole Super Bowl run and they're frauds. Frauds with a capital F. The New York Football Giants, who fired their coach this year, had more wins against teams over 500 than the New England Patriots. Rob G just gave you that. 391. That's their winning percentage. If that's baseball, you had a great year batting, 391.
Yeah.
And then all of the advantages. We saw it with the Chargers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't protect Justin Herbert, right? Couldn't protect him. Struggled, easily beat them. C.J. Stroud of turnovers. 4 interceptions in the first half. Ball game. All he had to do was not turn the ball over, and Houston wins.
Man,
and now here we go. You have to beat a backup quarterback to get into the Super Bowl. Come on, what a charmed life the New England Patriots are leading. It makes me feel like wanting to go to a strip mall.
No, I didn't know.
And getting a rub down. I'm just saying after that. That's how great this run has been.
Are you mentioning that because of particular owners?
Well, I'm just saying.
Okay.
A strip mall, rub down.
Well, I just didn't know where we heard. Get to the mall quickly, because I don't know where you were going. That starts with that. I didn't know where he was going.
I just think
I get it. There's a lot of people,
and that's why I can't pick them.
There's a lot of people.
I can't pick them.
You picking the Broncos?
Yep.
Yeah.
Even with a backup quarterback.
But I don't think that's crazy. And I'm not. I'm still going to take my little hour and 40 minutes to finalize my thoughts.
Do what you got to do.
Because that's not crazy, the Broncos. Because the good thing for them is that they have a full week. It didn't happen in the middle of the game and say first quarter, I should say. They just throw this guy in. And he's like, oh, they got time to game plan. What can we do?
I got a name for you too. You ever hear of Nick Foles? He was.
He was went on a run.
Thank you.
Big Tom Brady.
I'm just saying. Tom Brady was the backup quarterback at one point.
Tom Brady got in and never got back out, but that's an example. But going with the Patriots, honestly, there's a lot of people. We talked about it a couple of times throughout the season. I read off their whole schedule at one point throughout the season, and we're all like, I don't know if we can believe in them yet. And I understand that. The only thing I will say, if I have to be there, Johnny Cochran, and throw him some bail and try to defend him, I'll say this. One thing I always look at, and in our now 2 football seasons we've been together, a year and a half, total. One of the things I always look at is point differential, because one thing teams do, they typically can play down to the opposing teams. And some teams, they play with their food. They let teams stick around they shouldn't. They barely beat teams. We're like, how they barely beat this team? They barely beat the Panthers, or they barely beat the Commanders, who were down, Jalen down, so on and so forth. They were plus 170 in point differential, which was second best in the NFL. So I do like that, okay, you're a bad team. I'm not going to play around with you. I'm going to beat you in. I'm going to beat your brains in, put my foot on your neck and show you are a bad team. So I'll give them credit with that. And like Rob G mentioned, at the end of the day, you can't help who you have to beat in front of you. So I'll stall them out when that they just beat who they could. Now
I get that, but you're not playing those teams in the playoffs. Like they've gotten breaks, is what I'm saying. That's why they are where they are.
But they did beat the Bills. What was that? The game before the second game before the end of the season? So that was a big win for them as well. To kind of get that momentum heading to the postseason. But this is going to be big for them because the pressure's on them, right? Everybody's going to go, the Broncos, they lose. Bo Nix got injured. Patriots are supposed to win. So all the pressure is on Drake May, MVP candidate, and this team. And Vrabel, you came back, you changed this thing around. The pressure's on the Patriots. But I totally can understand that they haven't beaten anybody. The C.J. Strouds, the Justin Herbert with no offensive line running for his life. I totally see why people aren't sold on them and why I'm not completely sold on them. I think they're a solid team, a good team, but why you can't just go like, they're just definitive team in the AFC right now. And I totally get that. But to their credit, the only thing I can say is just trying to find some things. They beat everybody they're supposed to. They beat them badly again to the tune of.
But still, I get what you're saying. Still doesn't make you like this. This is where you could lose the test, or even if you get to the Super Bowl and lose against a good team, like Seattle. Like you could lose if Seattle or the Rams or whatever, because you really haven't. And my only thing is, yeah, you did, but 391, and you say how they beat them. But they weren't that good. That's why. So you stomping the Jets and scoring 40 points. All right, that feels good for you, but that doesn't mean that when push comes to shove, and the one test that they might face might finally come to roost, which could be all year you beat all these teams, and then when they lose to Denver's defense, and again, for Stidham, you don't have to be Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, that's not what you're looking for.
No.
Because a lot of mid quarterbacks have gone to the Super Bowl and won. Rex Grossman went to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Who? I remember that. I was in Miami that one.
But Nick Foles won a Super Bowl. He outplayed Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
So let me throw this at you. By the way. Another thing to prove the point that they haven't looked great when against those real deal teams or in tough situations. As much as we talk about C.J. Stroud, Drake May didn't look most amazing. Drake May has 6 turnovers. He has six fumbles, by the way, already this postseason. 2 games, 6 fumbles. So Drake May hasn't looked amazing this postseason as well in his run. He lost 3 of them, but he had 6. He has 6 fumbles so far. So if you can get after him, who got after the quarterback better than anybody this year? The Broncos.
Right.
So if you can get after him, you can make this thing close, and you hope that he makes a mistake or two or fumbles and and can get you the ball back. You got a shot. They got a good kicker in the Broncos. So
they got a lot of things going for him. And
3
again,
turnovers. I want to say, I'm sorry, 3 turnovers, not 6. He has 6 fumbles is what I want to say.
Right, 3 turnovers. I was going to say he had that many 6.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've looked at that wrong. But he has 6 fumbles, 3 of them lost, and he's been sacked a whole bunch too. He's been sacked a whole bunch this postseason run. He's been sacked a lot as well. So,
yeah, I just their resume just hasn't. If they get to go to the Super Bowl, it will be one of the easiest paths ever for real. Just number one, Rob G. That 391. Do they have anything about that? I mean, that got to be the lowest for somebody to make it into.
Well, we won't know until they get to the Super Bowl. They'll be able to tell you how
where
it ranks
fits
historically.
But it just sounds less than 40% winning percentage.
It's terrible. But
they already said it was the easiest schedule in decades.
Like 20 years or one of the lowest. And but here's the thing that's interesting is the team that they are playing in the AFC Championship, the Denver Broncos. Their strength of schedule is the second lowest. Now it's 422. It's much higher, but it's kind of odd that the 2 teams that are the last one standing in the AFC benefited from playing the worst schedule in the NFL.
Well, if you're the Broncos, at least you can say we beat the Bills. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can say it with no real issues. Like it wasn't like Josh Allen was on a broken.
We turned him over several times.
Exactly.
Yep.
You can say we fought and went toe to toe, and Bo Nix make some big plays. Obviously, he's out now, but you can at least say that. All right, Rob, so they're watching us right now, which means another thing they can do is what?
They can subscribe. All you got to do is hit that button, subscribe to The Odd Couple for some of the best sports talk content in the nation.
Facts, and while you're at it, they can like, they can comment, they can share. Do all that for us. We appreciate it. Just do all that right up in here.